This is Paul, Brother KAPOW. And as you can see here, I'm underground hiding in my hidden bunker, my man cave, because I'm afraid. Anyway, I'm trying something different and want to do the podcast, but I want to keep it as a radio show. It's always a radio show. But I'd also like to do a KAPOW CAM. So what I'm introducing you to right now is the KAPOW CAM. And when Miss KAPOW comes back, we will both be on here doing things and putting things on the screen. A lot of times on the show, I will say, oh, I wish you could see this guy or see this face or whatever. And now I can do that. So what I plan to do, is to put this video, it's the exact same thing as the podcast that you would hear on iTunes or transistor.com or on our websites, whatever, and put this on our YouTube channel. And I'll show you that. It's YouTube/VHook Media, one word, which all our podcasts go on there anyway. But if you're like me, I cannot stand listening to just audio on a video platform. Because that's just goofy, in my opinion. I want to hear or I want to see the video. The other thing, I'll put it on Facebook, Lord willing. I'll put it on our VHook Media Facebook page, and I'll show you that. So a couple of things I'm going to talk to today. See how I just touched my face? See that? I got to touch my face. I don't really touch my face, but I do a lot of this. See? Anyway, we're doing well. I'm in my cave. I'm underground, my underground bunker. Trump is over here, and Bill Gates is over here working on a vaccine, and I'm doing the show, and they're just chipping at me. So I want to keep this, like I said, like a podcast, but with the video. So I'm trying something different here. So let's go for it. Look for some stuff here. What I want to do, first of all, is I want to show you, if I can find it here, what I want to show you is share this with you. Okay, here we go. I don't want to show you that. I want to show you this. This is our VHook Media YouTube channel. And this is where I will be posting these particular videos. Okay. Where am I? Let's see. Here I am up on top. Let me put me down here. How do you like that? Can you look at me down here? Here I am. All right. So I want to put this here. Now you go to a lot of these playlists you can't see. Now here is Dennis Lee podcast. Now he does one every day and I produce it. You know, VHook Media produces it. He does one every day. And so I have it automatically coming on our channel. As you can see, you know, there's not a whole lot of people watching it because not a whole lot of people watch on YouTube. This last one we did Monday, this KAPOW radio show, no one, you know, one person viewed it. 3. So we don't have a whole lot of views here because it's just automatically, the podcast is automatically put on the YouTube channel. It's another way to listen to it. Seldom people do. I hate doing that also. I like to watch video. So these particular videos, I'll entitle something different, though they will be the podcast. And this is Freedom Friday, by the way. Freedom Friday. I will put these up under a different name, maybe KAPOW CAM, Freedom Friday, KAPOW CAM. So you could then get a different type of experience. Is that cool? That's cool. Now, under my playlist, you're not going to be able to see a whole lot because I have privacy settings and stuff. But I'll tell you the things that are not private. Here at Mesquite Cafe, you go to Mesquite Cafe and you can watch all the videos there, right there on YouTube. You can also watch it from our website and stuff, but you're not going to get my guitar teaching or my scrupulosity or things like that. I'm just not going to share that with you because I'm just not. So tough, right? All right. So youtube.com/VHook Media. Here's the other thing I want to share with you. VHookmedia.com. Now, I know that the mobile experience, a long time ago, I used a mobile app to put the show up, and it was horrible. It was, and I couldn't change it. I couldn't do anything. Well, apparently if you search in VHookMedia.com, a lot of times you'll get the mobile version, that old mobile version, and just a bad experience. If you scroll down on that mobile version, you will see desktop, and when you hit desktop, it will look like this. So what you have here is the home. You have the KAPOW. You can click here and go right to the KAPOW radio show and listen, or just right here on the splash page. So you can VHook Media, your Facebook page, VHook Media, or Mesquite Cafe Facebook page. This is for Spotify. You can follow Mesquite Cafe on Spotify. If you don't know what Mesquite Cafe is, you'll have to figure that out. It's my blues band project. Right here on the splash page is the latest shows from KAPOW Radio Show. Look at this. They're all here. No need to go anywhere else if you don't want to, right? You just click on what you want to hear, hit the play, and there you go. You can share it. You can subscribe. You can do more info, all that stuff. Pastor Dennis Lee's stuff is right below it if you want to listen to that stuff. All right, here we have books. And I'm sorry for my podcast listeners. I'm sorry because you can't see this, but just bear with me for a second because I'm going to talk about a couple of things, but I need to get this with the KAPOW Cam going on. All right. So maybe you'll pique your interest and you go, hey, I want to see what this fool is sharing here. So under books, you see Demons in My Marriage Bed. It talks about it. You can click on it. You can buy it on Amazon, one-click stuff, Eyes to See Unseen Enemies, all that stuff. It's Wisdom of Deaths, the first book I ever wrote. Way back here. You can also look at the ebooks, and the ebooks, some of these are in paperback. This one is in paperback also, but it's an ebook. That cover was done by Justin Fall, and the foreword done by Marcos Dutra, brother Marcos. And then you can get the ebooks here. You see. You got it? I know I'm going fast. Mesquite Cafe Blues Band. I'm going fast because of the podcast listeners. Mesquite Cafe Blues Band, you click on that tab, look at this. Here's the videos I've done. It's not every song that I've done, but it's the ones that have videos on it. Okay, so you can, maybe I'll play this one at the end. There's Miss KAPOW right here. That is Miss KAPOW right there. Can you see hopefully you can see my mouse. But that's her right there. Mosquitoes Boogie, this is her little dance troupe. All that's left now. It's a great video. It's very appropriate for today. All right. You go here and you go to KAPOW Radio again, and then here's other biblical teachings. I've got warnings, prophecy, and urgent messages, healing and deliverance from demons, fallen angels, demons, and aliens, how to study the Bible. Really good series here. Spiritual growth, and Ophilatralia, the serpent worship series is really good. And then when I used to be on Spreaker, these would be put on YouTube also. So these are YouTube things, but there's a whole series here I put up on Enochian studies right there. Really good stuff. So do that under KAPOW Radio. If you hit this, I got merchandise. So here you got Mesquite Cafe Blues Band t-shirts. Click on this. They'll take you to Zazzle.com and you can buy this. Delta Straight t-shirts, No Demons, VHook Media, Freedom Friday, right? Handbags, some hats. You get the picture, right? You carry all your COVID supplies in one of these VHook Media bags. Here you can contact us here. This would be cool. Give us your name and your email and make your comments. Submit it. We can hear it. The other thing I want to show you is KAPOW website. That click takes you to KAPOW website. You can always get there by just typing KAPOWradio.com. I seldom talk about this, but I do have a KAPOW website. Here it is. And you can listen to the show once again right here on the splash page, the whole thing. Also Dennis Lee stuff. And I got the Mesquite Cafe videos right here. Boom. And if you click this, they'll take you to VHook Media and the books. Here's a host bios if you want to know more about why I'm so dang crazy. It's right here, Miss KAPOW in here. And contact information. Is that cool? Do you have that? You have that down? Huh? I think you do. So, that's what it's looking like. If you go there. All right. So we're going to be posting these things on YouTube and our Facebook page. So, and our Facebook page is here. If you have not already been on there, this is VHook Media Facebook page. And this is our primarily mode of communication here, right? Here it is, the latest EP, Mesquite Cafe down here. Click on this stuff. So it's VHook Media, right? Facebook.com/VHook Media. You can find it right there. Great. Now, I'm back. So hopefully that all worked out. And so while I continue talking with you, I'm going to check my audio and make sure that I'm still broadcasting over the using my studio. You guys want to see that? Now, for the podcast listeners, you're going, man, the podcast listeners have already left because they can't see any of this stuff. And so they're like, this is stupid. But I'm going to show you something really quick. That's kind of cool. I think you're going to like this. This is my recording studio. I use Logic Pro, and this is what I record all the music on, Mesquite Cafe, jingles, and I do the show on this. So right here, here's Brother KAPOW right here. You can see my face. And this is the audio I'm tracking right now as I'm recording, and this will be part of it'll be the podcast. And here you can see where I have the disclaimer and the intro of the songs and things like that. Let me clear it for you. This obviously you're looking at my meter here, and you can see how I just kind of laid out. It's very simple laid out deal, and so that's how I operate my studio. This is just a template for the podcast. Obviously, if I was writing music, it's huge. It's huge. All right, so let's get on with some. A little bit of stories here. I did one big commercial, didn't I? I don't have to take a commercial. I just did a big, huge commercial. Anybody's asking, for you techie guys, what am I using for an interface? I use the Apogee Quartet, which is not cheap. And I use that at my offsite studio that I have in my townhome. I use Focusrite, the 18 in, 20 out, something like that. I use that. But this is Maestro 2 for the Quartet, and you can see that I'm getting an audio signal here from my voice. That's what I use there. Okay, so let's talk about what's going on. All right. So here we go. We already did this. I want to talk about this. This movie here is Contagion. Now, Miss KAPOW and I watched this a couple of nights ago. If you have Prime, it's I think it's $3.99. Well worth your money. If you've seen this in the past, see it again. It is quite amazing. As you can see here, it was done in 2011. 2011. So 9 years ago. And what it does is this movie, just like it says, it follows the rapid progress of a lethal airborne virus that kills people within days. The worldwide medical community races to find a cure. It's very good. It has Lawrence Fishburne and Matt Damon in there. I would play the trailer for you, but I don't want to I'm going to put this on YouTube, and I don't want to start off with getting in trouble. So I'm not going to do that. All right. Gwyneth Paltrow's in here. Very, very good. What's interesting is you can see it has high ratings. Interesting what people wrote about it. This particular movie, when we watched it, it was absolutely amazing to watch it today, to see what's going on right now in our world with COVID-19. Lawrence Fishburne's character, I don't remember his name, but his character, he's like the head of the CDC or WHO or something like that, actually mentions the word social distancing 9 years ago. It actually says social distancing. The beginning of the movie starts with people touching everything. And you can see how the virus is transmitted through touch and through coughing or, the air. It also started in Macau, China, at a casino. It's amazing. It's uncanny. Obviously, it's a coronavirus. Fishborn uses the term novel virus. Absolutely incredible. If you want to see where they want to go with this, well, at least where the world wants to go with it, the oligarchs, God's in control of this. God has allowed this. But if you want to see where they want to try to take you, this movie will show you that. It'll take you up to this point. It starts off in China, and it comes from, at the end of the movie, it's a spoiler alert, but I got to tell you, it comes from a bat eating infected mangoes or something like that. And then guamo, a bat poop, and a pig eats it. Then the pig's taken to market, served at a restaurant, and the corona is transferred from animal to human in that way. And it shows that like at the end of the movie. And there's a point in here where Fishborn, they talk about this could possibly be a bioweapon that China or America, somebody created a bioweapon. And he says something in this movie very, very significant. He says, because they're saying, well, this was created in a lab. And he says, the birds don't need a lab. Birds don't need a laboratory for bioweapons. In other words, nobody created it. It's a natural thing. Unbelievable. It shows the disintegration of society, obviously. It's a movie. It shows people who are immune to it, but it doesn't say why they're immune to it. It shows basically the rush for a vaccine. There's a character in there who I think is like a Bill Gates character, where he's a rich guy, but he's just donating his money and his time to replicate this virus in a lab so they can find a cure. The whole movie's about a rush for a vaccination. Once they get that vaccination, they get a wristband. They get a wristband, and that wristband allows them to go out and do things. It's incredible, an incredible story. Quarantine's in there. Matt Damon's in there. He's protecting his daughter. He won't let her out of the house. When they finally get the vaccination, the way it's distributed, well, first all the muckety-mucks get it first. All the big guys get it first, and their families. But the way it's distributed is through a birth date lottery. And when your birth date pops up, then everybody with that birth date will get vaccinated and get a wristband. And so it shows Matt Damon's daughter sitting at home. She's texting her boyfriend and says, I got 144 days of prison or quarantine left until her birthday comes up. He had figured it mathematically. Anyway, it's just a fantastic movie to see and to realize, man, what in the world. I mean, you talk about predictive programming. Unbelievable. Let's see what happens here. Virus Empire shows up again. The Unseen Enemy. Look at that. 2017. Look at this. The Coming Pandemic, 2005. There's a lot of good stuff here. 2015 infectious diseases. So here's Contagion again. The virus. This could be it. As you can see, you could just kind of figure out the game plan here. It's just absolutely unbelievable. Let's do something else here. Here's what I want to do. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do this. Let's do this. I know. Very professional guy here. Here we go. Let's talk about this. Here we are on our Facebook page. I want to talk about this. This is something I wrote and I posted that no one looks at, except for John Patrick Love. Thank you. Thank you, John. Love you, brother. There are 5 stages of grief. And it gets said in way back in 2001. I wrote a book called The Wisdom of Death, Six Paths to Understanding Loss and Grief, after my father died and Linda's father died within months of each other. And I wasn't a Christ follower at the time, biblical, Christ follower, but a lot of good stuff in that book that helped a lot of people. But one of the things that I discovered was Dr. Kubler-Ross, a grief expert, as she talked about the 5 stages of grief. And what I noticed, the 5 stages of grief starts off with a denial. There's a loss, right? Either a death, or you lost your job, or you lost your way of life, and you're just denying that. And then after that, it moves into anger. You get really ticked off. You might get mad at God. I even wrote about this in my book, how I couldn't understand how God could take my father. And then you start bargaining. You start a bargaining stage. If I can just, go back in time. If I could just make it. If I can just dig up their body and look at them one more time. You're trying to bargain, and then you're trying to negotiate these things, in your mind. And then when you realize none of that works, a depression kicks in, and then you become very depressed. And then if you make it through all of that process, after a while, you begin to accept the loss, you accept the death and what happened. And then you kind of move on with life, although differently, but you move on with life. And when I wrote this the other day, I ended it with spiritual problems require a spiritual solution. Only the one true God can save. Because what I'm noticing here is that there's people, I'm reading things, and there's people who are just constantly in this denial stage. They just think, the Raiders Stadium is it's called Reliance in Las Vegas. It's going to open up, and the Raiders are going to come in Las Vegas, and sports are going to happen again, and all the casinos are just going to flick on a light, and everything's going to be okay. And when this is all over, I'm going to do this and that and this and that. And they're really just denying a lot of stuff. And now we start seeing a little bit of the anger. People are starting to protest, so some of the loss that they're experiencing. What you're going to see here is this anger phase, right? We're seeing, and then you're going to start seeing people wanting to bargain, right already, trying to bargain and negotiate the opening up of the country. We need to open it up. We need to get it going. So they're trying to bargain that, negotiate that. And then if this thing continues, if it continues like it will, I think it will, depression is going to be very, very, very heavy. Let me circle this. The first one is denial. And once people get very depressed, that's going to get very, very bad. And some people are at that stage. And I don't know if anybody is really at the stage of accepting this at this point. But, I don't know. But really the key is this. It's a spiritual solution, and only God could really save. And that's kind of where we're at. And that's really what I want to leave you with today. And so thanks for joining me. It's about 30 minutes long. Those on the podcast, I do apologize for talking so visual on everything, but come and we'll try to join me on this. The other thing I want to do in the future is make this like a conference call. That if you want to do that, if you're interested in that, send me an email either at paul@kapowradioshow.com or at VHook@VHookmedia.com. You can email me several ways. kapow@kapowradioshow.com is easy to remember. email me, say, yeah, I would like to participate in a video deal. I got something to say, or I got something to share, or I just want to hang out, chat with you, or whatever. Want to see your ugly mug, and I want you to see my ugly mug. Send me an email. Let me know if that's something you want to do. We can do this, and we can have a bunch of people on the screen, in my man cave, and we can share and talk. In fact, when Miss KAPOW comes back and we do a show Monday, uh, she'll be on the screen also in her own little cave. She's hiding, separated from me, because we got to keep 6 miles apart. Is what I told her. Don't tell her. So let me know if you're interested in that, and we can do some conference calling, maybe a Bible study, just hang out, whatever. All right, y'all. Good night, and God bless.